approved by Brandon? Okay.
He is.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 199 of the KBMOD podcast. One off of the magical 200, and that is going to be a cast. It is July 26th, 2015, and it is great to be here. It is great to be here. We got a more intimate cast this week as we are missing John and Blah. So, but always fun. It's nice to get intimate, get a little cozy by the fire.
Should I put the fire back up this week?
Yeah, you might need to do the fire again. I feel like that was really
It's on my desktop, so this will just take a second.
Yeah,
this is the last episode that will start with a 1 until we're at episode 1000.
That's true.
That's a good point. And we will definitely reach episode 1000. Compel or high water.
It'll be a while, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
So
we'll look forward to that. But in
my Skype picture is actually still appropriate for the fire, so I'm glad I was actually thought about that. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Brandon, you know I have to ask. You actually didn't bring it up, and I'm assuming you didn't go to a flea market, but I'm gotta ask. No. Nothing.
No flea markets. No flea markets. But I did go to Evo.
Oh, we have the
Yes,
Evo
you did.
Was, in a way, like a flea market.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you were there. That was an incredible event to watch. Tell me about what it was like being at Evo. First of all, what did it smell like at the event?
Well, I mean,
it smelled
good? So it smelled fine because it's in a casino, and the casinos are really well ventilated because people smoke. So it actually smelled just fine.
Okay,
no odor. But no, it was a great event. The one thing that was weird, and I didn't realize this because I've never been to an FGC event, but they don't have the commentators' audio in the room.
Huh.
So on the stream, you can hear the commentators, but in the room, it's just the sounds of the game. And I don't know if that's, I'm actually not sure why that is. Maybe
so the players don't hear the commentators?
I guess it's so the players don't get distracted or don't hear what the commentators are saying, but it makes for kind of a weird live experience because I've never been to a live event where the commentators are completely silent.
That's crazy.
For everyone in the room.
Yeah.
So you sort of just, if you don't really understand the games, you kind of just have to wait until the crowd goes wild to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
And to your knowledge, it's always been that way? Or
I guess. I mean, I don't, I wouldn't have thought to even ask or know that this was a thing until I was there. And it was just it was weird because you have, especially the first couple days when they have all the pools going on, the pools are in the same room as the main stage, and so just on the side of the room, you've got people just gathered up around a bunch of TVs that are doing pools, and so I could kind of see why they don't want, why you wouldn't want the commentators on, because a lot of people in the room aren't paying attention to what's on the screen, like they're trying to play or they're watching their friend play or something like that.
Right.
But it's it was just kind of. It was unexpected, and it made it a little bit harder for me to follow along because I'm not super heavy into most fighting games, so I rely on the commentators more so than other games to understand what's going on and to kind of know what I'm watching. So that was the only sort of unexpected thing. I mean, other than that, it was a really cool event. Just watching, just seeing all those people and all of these people playing on TVs, it's definitely a very grassroots kind of thing. You've got people just sitting on the floor with a CRT, money matching. It's really
awesome.
weird, but it's very cool.
That's awesome. Did you meet any of the players or anything? Any of the bigger players? Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
autographs? Any
autographs?
Get your fight stick signed? Or
I always carry my fight stick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a party on Sunday. It was a good time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did see the
cool
about the Twitch party. That's awesome.
Yeah,
very neat.
But Evo is very cool. I mean, if you're into fighting games, I think there's clearly no better event to go to in my mind. Yeah. But it was also obviously neat. It was a very different vibe than other events I've been to, just because it's in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas, it's you're constantly weighing, do I want to go to the event or do I want to go do things in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Which is not a problem that you have with other events, being drawn into just the city itself. So that was an interesting dynamic, let's say.
Vegas? No, when I'm in Vegas, I want to stay inside. I fucking hate Vegas so much.
Good lord.
Is there a reason?
It's shitty.
You don't
It's fucking
gamble though,
shitty.
so that's.
Oh, I
mean,
guess
don't
if you don't
really
if you
either,
don't gamble, like then
That's
maybe it's
really-
worse.
So,
But
no,
yeah.
even outside of the gambling, just as a city, I would just.
Oh, yeah.
Las Vegas is not great.
It's
There you go.
it's
says the guy that lives in L.A.
I mean, if that's how you want to feel.
I don't think there's any well anyway.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we don't
saying
do
that
it.
not a whole lot of room for judgment.
Even in LA, for all the things that I can admit about LA, Vegas is fucking shit.
Vegas is far more depressing overall to me. I can do Vegas for like 2 days or 3 days, and that's about my cap. But
Oh,
yeah, I know
that's
people-
how you should do Vegas.
Yeah.
Like if you do Vegas for a week, you're doing it wrong.
Mhm.
Like you'll either die or you'll be broke.
So
Yeah.
we
Okay.
also watched Evo.
Yeah, had an
at,
Evo party.
at my house. We had a little
Yeah.
party for it. Watched all the finals. Most people had the lead before Street Fighter, which did end up being the best finals. Although everything was pretty good. MKX was hype.
Smash was really good.
Smash was good, except Hungry Box
Yeah.
playing a little lame there, taking the air out of the room a little bit.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
With this character. Yeah, it was. I really. So that was the first Evo that I actually properly watched. Especially like with other people and stuff like that. I agree. I thought MKX was awesome to watch. Really fun. And then what was it? What was the most hype that? What was the
Marvel?
Marvel, dude. Like you kept saying, like Marvel's the most hype. And after like we watched, I don't know how long did that whole for the finals? Maybe it took like 3 hours for Marvel, maybe 2.5
Yeah,
to get through
something
Marvel.
like that.
Like the
Yeah.
first hour, I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" I can't even. It like hurts my brain to even try to. And then after, like once I started getting familiar with the characters and everything, like you were saying, Dan, I was just like, I totally understand why Marvel's so hype. It's fucking insane.
Yeah,
So
Came Blue River, taking
Yeah.
it with a bunch of untraditional teams were in Marvel, which was awesome. And then I don't know if you watched Street Fighter, Scott.
I did. When I
later,
got home, I
but
actually
dude,
I saw the tweets. I was like, I have to get on. I was like, I
the
have to watch.
last 2 matches of Street Fighter were like the
Yeah.
greatest esports thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's-
Gamer
the
V
stick disconnector.
Infiltration and then Gamer V Momochi were like the most ridiculous matches. Like
Those
it was
matches
insane.
are so good.
The
Yeah.
mental games going on in Infiltration Gamer V, he used like 3 characters in that match or something like that. It was crazy. But yeah, that was a 30-minute set, and then the finals were a 40-minute set. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just it was unbelievable.
It was incredible. Was viewership obviously the highest, I think, right? For any
Probably.
Yes.
however it felt like.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I'm all like, even just coming from somebody who doesn't really play fighting games at all, and watching it I was like, this is going to be the next. I mean, it makes total sense. Dan and I mean, we were talking about it. We didn't talk about it last week because we didn't have a podcast, but at the event, it was just like, there's nothing simpler than two people battling it on screen as far as being able to get into something. Like,
Yeah. Health
even if you don't
bars
understand the
and
mechanics and, yeah.
like
Fight stick disconnecting at the end was
Oh,
like
my
God.
icing on the cake too.
God.
Yep.
Can you imagine if that had been, the commentators talked about it, but can you imagine if that had been on the final round? Like the actual.
Well,
like, the
Gamer B would have taken the tournament. Like,
God, I know, but on
Gamer
something
B would
like
have taken
that,
the tournament. He had no choice.
so brutal.
And then Drake and Tim and I watched the KI finals, which were actually the day before, and those were ridiculous. They were completely ridiculous, and I'm so pumped for Killer Instinct to come to PC very, very soon. But man, they were better than pretty much everything but Marvel and Street Fighter. But yeah, Evo was amazing as per usual. And a couple other things. Games Done Quick, of course, going on right now, and we'll be
Best
watching
week
that
of the year.
all week. Right after Marvel, and the International is also going on. So
moly.
it's like, goddamn, just keep Twitch open, pretty much.
What is the international? 17 million or something?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
over 17
Just
million now.
a small purse.
6th place.
GDQ is my favorite week, but it's also terrible because I sit here at my computer and it'll be like 9 or 10 p.m.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but like this Sonic speedrun starts at 3:25, so I guess I'm gonna stay up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I hope they have. See, it's hard to even say this because the amount of games they fit in. But I'm always like, man, they're putting all these games on at like 4 a.m. I can't stay up for that, but I really want to. Like right after this podcast ends is Resident Evil 4. So if you're
Oh my
wondering-
god, I have to watch that.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and
Yep.
right now, I gave you guys the multi-stream link. If you're watching this live, I gave it to you. You should be watching a multi-stream and supporting those guys as well.
Oh my god,
Right
Crash.
now, it is Crash Bandicoot 2. I would assume is still going on right now.
I think it might be the next one.
I think they're
Crash
doing
Bandicoot Warped is right
Oh, yeah.
after that, and then RE3 will be later on in about an hour. So yeah, always a hype event, one of the very best. Another little sort of thing that happened this week, and I was rused for 2 months straight
Oh yeah.
by the entire group of KBMOD people. I was rused for 2 months. We went and had dinner on Thursday night, and who was there but NikonPunch, who has moved to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. You were the only one. I think
was the
because
only
you
one.
didn't have Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook, and Bob made sure to keep it a secret from me for whatever reason. I was in shock that entire
Yes.
night. Like, actually, could not believe. I thought it was a reverse ruse.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, "Oh,
Reverse
he's
ruse.
not actually."
How did you not? I fucking knew about
They
it.
didn't. They
That's what I
told.
know
They
about
told
it.
everyone
That's what
but me on purpose.
Everybody.
On purpose.
But damn.
Oh, I guess I didn't catch it.
And then he posted it, and then he posted it on Facebook, and I don't have Facebook, so like
Yeah.
that was the only way I
Yeah.
would have gotten it early. So, so yeah, Nikon will be here. Our production values for our cast streams and stuff, I'm sure, will go up due to this. So he's looking for a house right now. So I've hung out with him a bunch Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how cool I am with this ruse that has been perpetrated on me, but you know,
It's good to get rused once in a while,
a
just to
good
know
ruse,
that you can
though.
still get rused. you
yeah, that's a pretty big ruse.
know? That was pretty big. I just think it's hilarious that you were the only one that no one said something in passing either.
I know.
Or even that because I didn't even know, because when I saw it on Facebook, I was so confused by the post because the way he phrased it was like, I'm trying to keep this a secret from some of the guys in Pittsburgh. And I was like, what the? I was like, I'm on here. And then I thought that like you would have seen it. So I was definitely going to say something to you, but I guess it just slipped
Yeah.
my mind. So
Yeah, no one said anything.
God bless.
All right. Anything
All
else?
right.
Anybody do anything else?
Yeah, we should talk about what we've been playing. Unless
I had a birthday.
I mean, I played blackjack.
Nick Fenton turned 20,000.
That's true. That's true.
And
What did you do on your
got-
birthday?
People came over. Well, we were gonna go to the movie in Hollywood Forever Cemetery,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it rained that day because of all days in a drought for it to rain on my fucking birthday. So we just everybody came over here and Sark brought his projector and we just watched a shitty movie.
Oh, nice.
And I got very unsober,
Oh, okay. Fair.
exceptionally unsober, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
What are you, 23?
I'm 23.
23.
So
Life is
23 Fentons.
fucking bleak.
it's over. 23.
There's no good birthdays. Like the next birthday I'm anticipating is when like renting a car is better, and that's how you know fucking innocence is dead. Like, oh man, when I turn 25,
Oh yeah, that's when you
fucking
can rent cars.
renting a car is gonna be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the birthdays between 21 and 25 are all pretty meaningless.
Yeah.
Well, even right now, like when I'm looking forward to renting a car, that's how I know like there's nothing left in me from my childhood. It's all gone. It's dried up like Southern California.
Well, all right.
Here,
So
I'll start with what we've been playing this
Yeah,
week.
go ahead.
I ain't played shit.
Yeah!
Did you at least watch the Halo stuff on Twitch? That was really garnering crazy viewership. It was awesome. to see.
Absolutely fucking not, buddy.
It was like it was like the
I don't give
finals
a
at
fuck.
it was like the finals at ESL, and there was like 16,000. I was like, wow, there really should be more people watching Halo, but it didn't seem
No,
like anybody was.
no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't even know until somebody tweeted about it that I follow. I saw that it was like I was like, it was in its second season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like 2 seasons.
I
of
didn't
Halo.
realize that started.
Master Chief Collection. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Halo.
Man.
Really?
Halo 5 though, it's gonna bring it back.
Well,
Don't
I
worry.
mean, I'll buy it. That's all I can really promise about Halo 5.
Yeah. Okay. Brandon, what about you? What did you play this week? If anything.
Blackjack.
Blackjack. Yes. Did you win? How'd you do at the tables?
I actually did really well.
Oh.
I did the best I've ever done in Vegas, which
Man.
is
Nice.
it was up like $1,000.
Wow.
But more impressive than that is that I did not leave down at a blackjack table the whole time I was there.
Wow.
So probably across, I don't know, like 8-ish different play sessions.
Yeah.
I would sit down with $100, and I did not get up with less than $100 at any of those.
You were just super hot. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, and
always hot.
I wasn't really even paying attention because, like, I expect to lose sometimes, and I enjoy the entertainment just sitting there and playing with friends.
Yeah.
So like if I lose $100 after a couple hours, it's not a big deal. But I just wasn't really even paying attention, and I'm just constantly like up money. And I'm used to the opposite, so it was great.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, I kind of know what you're feeling. Last time I was in Vegas for EDC, I won like $15 from a slot machine, and I felt like that was the first thing I ever won in Vegas. And
At like 6 in the morning, no?
At 6 in the morning, yeah. And the thing lit up. Like, I thought I was about to win $1 million. I didn't realize that slot machines really overreact, even for like $10. So it was $15.
Now you know why people play slot machines, because you get like you get a payout that's like $1.
It
and
literally
lights
played
up
like
Christmas.
a sick EDM drop. Like, it was just the whole machine was flashing, and I was like, "This is gonna be like $2,000." And then it was $15. I was like, I can't believe this. I totally get it.
And then you just keep spinning the wheel.
I know, I did, and then I lost all the $15 that I won. So yeah,
Vegas is fucking shitty, but the one thing that I find endearing about Vegas is that after EDC, we would go through the fucking casino at like 6 in the morning, and there are people just playing. And that's great because when you walk by, you're just like, wow, I'm not fucking here.
I'm not
fucking gambling at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And then what's funny is we would get up at like 5, and some of those same people would still be there smoking their cigarettes and drinking and stay at the same machine to go back out again. So
the thing is, it's super easy to do that in Vegas because there are no windows in the casino.
Of anywhere to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just track of time.
I've done that on accident.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have a problem?
Yeah, Brandon, this is starting to get good. I feel like
I don't know. I don't actually bet that much. I find like the minimum.
Are you a fan of the
blackjack
movie
tables
Rounders?
I find the lowest blackjack table I can find, and I just bet the table minimum.
What is the lowest in general? Like, what is usually the lowest for blackjack?
On the strip, the lowest you can find is like $10.
$10,
maybe $5 in like the middle of a weekday or something. But generally, it's like $15 at night.
Okay.
So I don't play to win. I play to enjoy myself, have fun.
I see that.
Okay.
But on top of that, I've been playing Hearthstone. I guess I don't know if we want to talk about this now, but yeah,
do you
I
want
went
to move
to
it? We can move it if you
No.
want.
I can talk about it now. I went to the event that the Hearthstone folks had here in San Francisco to announce their new expansion, and while it's hard to really say like what my feeling is because there are so many cards that haven't been revealed yet, I like the direction it's in. Like making the hero power more prominent, I think is kind of a cool idea that doesn't, like, I don't think will break the game. It remains to be seen how heavy an impact it'll actually have, but I like I like it as a mechanic, as an idea. I think that's a cool theme to have an expansion around. And the event was pretty neat. It sounds like the expansion comes out next month, which is only several days away. So that's exciting. I mean, the one thing with Hearthstone is like the game is constantly changing because there's some sort of expansion or something that comes out every like few times a year. So just when I'm getting bored of it, something new comes out and I spend more money on it, and then it's interesting again. So well done, Blizzard.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing that tournament thing right, unlike when they made a raid out of it. So, but yeah, is 132 cards? Is that like big?
That's
like about what they've
that's
added.
About right. I want to say that's close to what they added in Goblins versus
sounds like
Gnomes.
a lot to me.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. It is a lot, but I think that's about the size they seem to aim for with these expansions where you actually buy booster packs, because they want, obviously, they want people to get packs and then take a chance on whether or not they end up getting all the cards they need.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that I'm surprised that they're doing a booster pack expansion. Only 8 months after Goblins versus Gnomes, which is also a booster pack expansion. I would have thought they would do like an alternating thing with sort of like they did in Exramus, have like a story mode kind of expansion again.
Well,
But
wasn't BlackRock a story?
yeah, I
So they
guess
kind of did.
they kind of are. Yeah, I guess maybe they're just like putting out content quicker than I would have expected.
I would agree
'cause-
with that. We've had like
Yeah.
what, 4 big updates now? So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the pace at which things are changing. The funny thing is, they haven't actually really changed any Goblins versus Gnomes cards. Like for instance, Doctor Boom, which has been overpowered since the day it was released. It still is the exact same. They haven't changed it, and at this point, I guess they're not going to. So it seems like they're just the strategy seems to be add more cards instead of nerf existing cards. Just add new cards that like counter that overpowered card.
yeah, I see that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I play Hearthstone a bunch, so can't wait for it to come out. But the biggest thing I've been playing though is Rocket League, which we've talked about before, but I just like my hands are like crippled from holding my Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
I'm not used to holding a controller for long periods of time, and I fear that I'm actually going to develop like some sort of syndrome. Like I don't know what I don't
You'll
know
be
I don't know if it's like I don't know if
You
it's
have a lot
called
more respect
but
for
whatever.
those fucking quickscopers in FaZe now, don't you? That have those console warriors.
I'm forced to.
Yeah, dude. Holding a controller is no joke, man. Especially doing fakies and YYs, much less playing a little game like
I just
Rocket
bought
League.
an Xbox One controller this week.
Yeah, it's really not
Best
a joke.
controller.
I mean, I'm used to
It's
gaming
good.
for very long periods of
Is
time.
it worth upgrade? Because I use a 360
Yes.
PC. Is it worth upgrading, or is it not
I
that
don't-
different?
Well, I
Do you
suppose
have
you probably use a controller
So
pretty frequently. So
I do,
Is
but-
it an off-brand Xbox controller or an actual 360 controller?
It's an actual wired
Microsoft one.
Well, Microsoft one. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I think the Xbox One controller is better, but some people say that the 360 one is still the best one. But
okay.
I love the triggers on the Xbox One.
I think that the bumpers are terrible on the Xbox One controller.
It is definitely a
The
downgrade.
triggers are fine. The bumpers, maybe it's because I have smaller
Yeah.
hands, although Nick Fenton has really small hands. So
I
I
haven't
don't
had.
know. I just have trouble pressing them at first. I'm okay with them now, but
Yeah. Okay.
so
Maybe
I think
will.
it's worth it. But I have
Yeah.
off-brand piece of shit like Afterglow
The
Xbox
D-pad is
360s.
better than the 360 one.
Very
So-
much, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the only game that I've actually felt the need to plug in a controller for, and I do think it makes the experience a lot better. But I've been playing a whole bunch of that. I've been starting to play ranked 2v2
Oh,
with
God.
with Ches, and oh man, it's just some of the games that you have, like when you get an epic save with the last few seconds, that's just they've nailed that feeling so good. It's just you want more. Like every game that you finish, you want to play again.
It's definitely
just
that.
can't.
Just Rocket League is literally just one more because I've
It
started
really
playing it
is.
since we talked last. It's just
5 minute that
ridiculous.
5 minute round time
That's
is
perfect
just
time.
long enough to be like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to go to bed in 30 minutes so I can play 3 more rounds. And but then like 3 turns into 4 turns into 6. I mean, yeah, so I've stayed up way too late several nights playing with anyone I can find. I think it's cool that like you can just pick up anyone and play ranked, and like where people take it seriously, and I just enjoy it so much. And Super Bowl, rip Super Bowl.
You have been replaced.
Rocket League has supplanted Super Bowl in the soccer game genre.
Nice. All right.
That's it for
Anything else, or that's you? Okay. What about you, Dan?
I have basically been grinding on NHL and Bloodborne on stream. Been streaming that, and Witcher 3 still going. Every Wednesday I play The Witcher. It never ceases to amaze. Like every time I thought I was burning out on it last week, and then I got to this part. This isn't a spoiler. It's just like a really cool cutscene. I got to this part where you end up watching this bard play a song in like a tavern, and it's like fucking amazingly well done. Like it might as well be a live like concert. It's so good. It's so good. And you just get tangled up in quest lines and you just want to keep keep going with it and keep going with it. I'm only 20% through it in 33 hours. So, and I'm still just kind of grinding away at stuff, not main story stuff, off stream when I can. We played all the normal stuff on Couch Stream last week, except we played a new game called Phantom Breaker, which is like waifu brawler, super anime game. It was alright. It's super hard. But we played that last week, and what else? I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 again off stream. I started my second class that I need to get to my job, so I'm put a lot of hours into that, but I don't plan on ever streaming it. It's just kind of
you're still playing WoW though too, right?
No,
or just
no.
Oh, not at all.
I canceled my WoW sub in January.
Oh,
So
Thanks for fucking paying attention, Scott.
nice. Okay. Sorry, I'm
I
watching
haven't
this.
touched WoW in a long time.
Crash Bandicoot's warped
Final
run.
Fantasy 14 for me is actually better than WoW because I don't feel the need to play it all the time. And it's so like, to me, it's like a mindless MMO, but in a good way. I can just chill out and play Final Fantasy 14, like, and kind of
You're not a 10+ year veteran of Final Fantasy
right.
14.
I don't feel that like
Pressure.
of that to like. If I play WoW, I'm like, I gotta gear up. And like, if I'm in Final Fantasy, I still have this min-max mentality, even in Final Fantasy, but I'm not gonna go grind out anything that puts me over the edge or something to do good DPS, or I just don't care. I just want to be in that world for a little bit and chill out, kind of thing. I played a ton of Street Fighter this week after Evo. I kind of got in that mindset, so I've been playing a ton of that. What else? That's about it. That is about it.
Alrighty. And me, I played more Resident Evil 6. I'm going to beat that game. Katie and I are plowing through it. We finally got through the Leon campaign, and by the end of the Leon campaign, basically I've been rating that game out of 30 points for some reason, and I had given it 3 points at the beginning of the Leon campaign. I took all the points away. Oh my god! And now we're on the Chris campaign, and it's just so fucking. I'm having fun with it just because it's fun to poke fun at, and it's
No, you're not. Stop lying to yourself.
No, I am. And part of it is like it's not like terrible in the sense of like there's worse games that you could play.
True.
It's just it is crazy that it's it's a Resident Evil game. I mean, I get it. Even having not played the original Resident Evil and stuff like that.
Right.
But going from 4, it's pretty nuts. But there's definitely entertainment to be had with just like what the fuck were they thinking?
I want everyone to take a moment and just acknowledge that you just witnessed a man lie to himself about Resident Evil in front of you.
I'm making my own fun, dude. When the game's
Come
not fun, you
one,
make
come
your own
all.
fun.
See the man that lies to himself about Resident Evil.
And I cannot wait for 7. I hope they make it even more over the top than 6. We'll see. I also played Skullgirls with Diction. Diction and I played that for about 4 hours.
Such a good fighting game.
God damn, yeah. I know, Dan, you had talked about it a bunch.
It's the best tutorial. I've said this on this podcast before. If you want to get into fighting games, get your Street Fighter, your Mortal Kombat, or whatever, and then go get Skullgirls for like $5 sometime and play the tutorial. Because that tutorial will teach you so much about every fighting game in a very easy to understand way. Super good. The
and just
online's
straight up,
really good
like
too.
the online, we had no issues the whole time. Latency, really anything. I mean, obviously we're noobs, so probably harder for us to notice. But even like playing Mortal Kombat and some of the other ones where it's just like feels super laggy and all that kind of stuff. None of that. And all the character designs and stuff were really cool. And it's like accessible enough where like even if you're button spamming or you just learn like you get down a few moves with the characters that you like, you feel really accomplished in Skullgirls. And obviously I can see it being, obviously like pretty deep fighting game. So and I am getting Dictionary getting fight sticks, so maybe we'll be a little bit less shit, but we'll see. He just dominated me in Skullgirls. I don't know. He was the better button masher.
MKX I think you'll like it better on pad. MKX.
Yeah,
But
MKX,
pretty much every other game I prefer fight stick.
Yeah. And then besides that, I think I'm Counter-Strike as always. So I think those were the 3
Nice.
this week. Yes.
All right. Before we go into the news, tomorrow night, another podcast of ours will be on. Not this podcast, but the Buildcast, the hardware podcast, will be on tomorrow night with a guest from Corsair. will be on at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. So the same time this podcast starts, but tomorrow night, Monday night.
So send your mass core skill and GSER questions that way.
That's right.
Send them all in to Hex and Bob, and Nikon will be live from Pittsburgh for that one.
If you're listening to the audio version, this would be yesterday for you.
Yeah, this will be yesterday for you.
So go find the VOD.
Yeah. And you can check those build guides out on the site as well. So on KBMOD.com, you should go check out. Another thing, there is a Rocket League 2v2 tournament happening this Saturday.
Shit.
The winners, it's a community-run tournament. It will not be streamed because there's no spectator client for Rocket League. Someone who's doing it may stream their tournament game, but there's no formal stream for it. You can check that out on our forums. We'll put the link also when this podcast comes out on the site on Tuesday. The winning team will receive, I believe it's a Steam game each, or $20 or $30 towards a Steam game each. I forget what Dalesy said.
No,
And
I think it's a $25 gift card to Applebee's, I think, for
all right,
appetizers.
dude, well, now nobody wants to win.
Yeah, I know. I just nuked that tournament.
So, yeah, no, first place member of each team will receive a $30 game of their choosing, as well as a KBMOD logo t-shirt. So we will be providing 2 t-shirts to the winning team. Second place, what a prize. Each member of the team will receive a warm congratulations from Dalesy and Hardballer.
Wow. There you go.
Third place, you're pushing it. You're lucky to be participating. There's already a bunch of teams signed up, so you guys should really get in on this. It does suck that there's no spectator client. They'll have it at some point, I'm sure, and we can do a proper stream of one of these. But yeah, this Saturday is when that tournament is. I think brackets will be posted in that forum thread as well. Also,
that second place prize, you're going to have to be on the lookout for match fixing.
Yeah. Next week, of course, this is episode 199 of this podcast, and next week will be 200. I have some things in the works for this, which I will not say, obviously, on this episode. But we are going to try to replay some old podcasts on the channel throughout the week. Going to try to find some highlighted ones. Episode 1 will be streamed at some point here. It's only audio, but you'll get to hear it again for the first time.
Back when Woody was still on it.
Yeah, back when Wody GT was on this podcast.
That's true,
in 2011.
I miss him.
Crazy.
So back when the podcast was just me and Scott and Private Joker, Alex.
Really? Was that
was the first episode?
That was it? I can't. That's crazy.
Episode 2 had Chris Trout
Explains
91.
why it was so shitty.
Chris Trout 91 on episode 2.
That's right.
And then John
That's right.
was like, yeah, can I be on this podcast too?
I just specifically remember somewhere around episode 12, the podcast getting a lot better.
Really?
Was that when you and Mike happened to be on?
Well, it spontaneously got a lot better and a lot fucking worse, too.
So, yeah, keep an eye on our Twitter at KBMOD Gaming and on the Twitch channel all this week. We'll be playing some old episodes for you guys. But yeah, there's some stuff in the works for episode 200, so you don't want to miss that. Same time, same place. And then, on this same channel, August 8th, Extra Life LAN number 2 for the year. We'll be raising money for Extra Life. We'll be at Bob's Basement, the site of the first couple LANs. We're going to be testing, basically, our stream setup with all the lighting and the 40-channel mixer and lav mics and all kinds of stuff to be testing all the things for the big Extra Life LAN in October. So don't miss that. It will be awesome. Be a 12-hour stream that day. Scott will be there. All the Pittsburgh dudes will be there. So don't miss that on August 8th. All right, we're going to take a 2-minute commercial break. And if you don't want to see commercials on this channel, you should consider subscribing. You also get KBMOD A, which is worth $4.99 a month on its own. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 minutes for the news.
Hear me out.
Okay.
From now on, we're gonna say that the podcast was recorded way further in the past than it actually was.
So,
because Brandon said, when he was saying, for audio listeners, that'll be yesterday. I'm saying, we say, this podcast was recorded in 2027.
What? Wait, so we're recording in the
And for the
future?
audio listeners, it is 2015. But we're recording it from the future and we're sending it back.
Oh my. Okay.
But you have to stay in character. So talk about things like real crazy sci-fi things. Just stay in character. Don't force it, but occasionally be like, oh man, my commute on my hoverboard.
Damn,
Jesus
it was
Christ.
treacherous this morning.
Yeah.
Man, did you
Ate
see
my
that
moon
thing? We
rock
almost
cereal.
the iPhone 14.
I mean, that's definitely a plot. Yeah.
So
What
I
will
think
an
from-
iPhone
I think
14 look like?
It's just gonna be a chip in your.
it won't even be a phone. It'll
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
no, it'll be in your brain,
Galaxy
dude.
phone is going to be an actual galaxy.
Everybody will just own a galaxy.
Dude, it's the end of the world. It's gonna
Like
be
in Men in
Mark of the
Black when they
Beast.
zoom out and the Earth is just marbles.
Trash.
Like you just have galaxies.
Gas hit $12,000 a gallon today. 2027. It's very expensive
No,
to run
but
a vehicle.
when this break is over, guys, stay in character, okay? For real.
Okay.
I want
so
to
we're
commit
gonna
to
be,
this.
We're gonna be in
I don't know why-
2027?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get a
the
drink
year's
super fast, but feel free to continue.
Of extremely high tech space water from the year 2027.
Wow.
It's filled with
Destiny DLC package
micro
97.
robots.
All right. We are back. Time for the news. And the first real big thing that came out this past week was drug testing in esports. So ESL is going to start at some point in the near future drug testing esports players. There are many issues brought up by this, but the main thing to me is that it seems like it's a reactionary move to Semphis, who's a former Cloud9 player, basically saying that the whole team was on Adderall for matches back in the day. I guess what would have been a year ago, 2 years ago, when he was on Cloud9. But I just want to get your guys' thoughts. I had an ESL guy respond to me on Twitter several times, basically, because the reason that this works in real sports is that there's a whole lot of discussion that goes on between players and there's player unions and things that help create these rules.
I also think works in real sports is a real questionable definition.
No, yeah, that's what I mean is
Yeah, I
what
know
I
what you
mean
mean.
is like to me what say and the guy from ESL assured me James Lampkin, I believe is his name. He's a programming producer for them. I don't know why he was tweeting in response to me that you would think ESL would be like, yo, let us release shit on official channels, but
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know that this is something that you can just put out there and then say you're going to test for ESL Cologne, which is in like 3 weeks. Like,
Will there actually be testing? That's the real question. Like, isn't
They're
it very
saying-
expensive to actually do these tests?
all right,
Like,
so
very
that's the main thing for me is
Yeah.
what are you
a lot
what
of
are you
money.
going to test for? Because that hasn't been put out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Adderall is one thing. Although the guy responded to me again, and he said, "We're not just going to test for Adderall. It's going to be testing for other stuff." Because I actually the first tweet he responded to me about, I was like, "So the UFC, this has been a big thing with them. Dudes are getting popped for steroids left and right in MMA recently because they just stepped up testing. Each test for each fighter costs $50,000 to do."
Yeah.
And there's like a chain of custody that has to be, airtight, so there's no, fake urine or any other thing that could happen. And like, what? I mean, can ESL afford to? That means one team. If you test all of Cloud9 right now, that's $250K if you're doing some full board test like that. But we don't know what they're going to do. But the fact is, it's got to be in the thousands per player.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not cheap to do.
I mean, I don't know. You get drug tested all the time for like a new job or something. I
Yeah.
don't think. I have a feeling that the rigor around like UFC drug testing in
Oh
particular
yeah, no, I completely
is
They're
agree.
probably
certainly,
looking
like,
for
way.
everything.
Yeah, obviously.
But I'm sure it's not like, especially if you're talking about a process for doing that at every event, you can probably get the cost down. But I think what seems more likely is just the threat that they'll do it, and
Yeah.
the fact that maybe they'll do it randomly. They
So-
might not do it to everyone, but they'll do it randomly. And so, are you really going to risk you being the one that gets tested that event? And like
Right.
that's probably good enough to get people not to even test
To get
it.
most people not to, yeah. not
Like
to
the
use
reason people would do it is because they know there's no chance they get caught. If there's even a very slight chance they would get caught, they're not going to do it. Like it's not worth
Right.
risking your career over.
So the big problem to me though is them saying we're going to do this in 3 weeks. Even if you're only randomly testing a couple players, like how are you putting together all this stuff with these dudes at tournaments every weekend? And they assured me, by they, I mean ESL dude on Twitter, who yes is actually from ESL. If people are like, yo, it's just some fake account. No, he's actually from ESL. He's like, of course we're going to talk to all the organizations and players, and I'm like, so you're going to do this all in 3 weeks?
it is a lot to. I forgot that. That's why I don't.
Even
think
if
the
you
actual
randomly
testing's gonna
test
happen.
3 dudes for
that's
ESL Cologne out of every team that's going to be
That's a
there,
lot.
you can't say to these players, because it sounds like it might sound like a cop out, but you have to give them a little bit if they are using something that they don't even know what if they're using something that could be illegal.
Well, not to
Like-
mention when you get into the actual prescriptions for Adderall that people may have from their doctors, that could be totally legitimate, because the other thing in all the articles is like you said, the list of what they're actually, the full list of what they're testing for and what is technically illegal, and then how to deal with if someone has a prescription. He's on Adderall, but he's it's an adequate use of Adderall because he has this ADHD or whatever. Like, I don't know. There's just so many. I totally agree with you in the sense of I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, and the discussion was bound to happen at some point, regardless. Semphis just pushed it forward with his comments, and they kind of had to address it. I mean, honestly, if Semphis
I
hadn't said
feel like
anything,
they
no one
didn't
would
have
get.
to address it, but that's
Well,
fine.
maybe not, but they wouldn't have given. I mean, the truth is, if Semphis hadn't said this, somebody else would have said it at some point. But if Semphis hadn't said it at this point, they wouldn't have done anything, because they don't really want to deal with it, and also they don't want their players at their big events getting tested and busted. I mean, in the sense that it is their players, because these big star players on these big teams and stuff on like Cloud9 and all that kind of stuff, these are what help attract people to watch it. No one wants. I'm sure ESL doesn't want to be busting people in general. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying they don't care about the integrity of the game, but there's just so much more behind it than just being like, yeah, we only care about the integrity of the game, which I think is important, and I think that's a factor. But that's a lot to get done, and especially with no players unions or anything like that going on in esports really right now.
And-
there's just so many questions.
And there's a lot
It's
of
really hard.
there's a lot of like jokes out there too about
Yeah.
like Freakazoid and Pasha, who are huge freaking dudes, and it's like, are you gonna what if they did do roids just because they bodybuild? Like,
Sure.
what
Yeah.
then? What does that have to do with because actually, if you didn't know, you can get a prescription for steroids or get steroids, and it's totally cool unless you're playing like professional sports. Like, it's not actually illegal. There's nothing illegal about it. It's a rule for sports. But are you gonna pop him for that? Like, does that help him? I mean, his performance today would indicate otherwise if it does. But
Yeah.
you can't do this in 3 weeks. You cannot do this in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot to get
Maybe
done.
next year. Maybe by next year you put together
You know,
a drug testing
you know what?
program.
I stand in solidarity with Juicy J's stand on this. Fuck a PO, fuck a piss test. Been getting
Yeah.
trippy since I was born, and I ain't dead yet. So that's where I lie on this topic.
It's wise words by him. I
just-
don't know. I
don't think
Yeah.
this gives any more legitimacy to esports, which is what a lot of articles are saying. I'm like, it's legitimate anyway. I don't think
It is legitimate anyway, and I do think it's a joke. Like a lot of people in the comments and stuff, there's actually a lot of going in both those articles, Dan. I was just scrolling the comments, and there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. But some of the talk of like trying to make this like, well, if this is going to be a real sport, they need to be doing. It's like, dude, fucking real sport. Like, let's talk about baseball and fucking steroids and drug tests. Like, let's be real. Come on.
The Tour to steroids.
Yeah,
that's
like,
all
it's
the Tour de
just-
France is.
You know.
Like,
I mean,
I think that this was gonna be
they do have to address it, right? If you consider
For
yourself
sure.
like the leader in the competitive space,
I see
you
that.
have to address it because it's going to be the elephant in the room if you don't.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, like how do you implement it realistically on such a short timeline for an upcoming event? No idea. I mean,
You don't.
like,
I mean,
well, it's possible that it's just basically like checking boxes, right? No one gets caught because they don't actually have protocols in place yet or whatever, but they say they did it and it makes it look good. I mean, a lot of this is just
they're
like,
partnering with the World Anti-Doping Agency. Like, that's the authority. So they're
Yeah.
serious about it. It's just like
yeah.
WADA
I think we
protocols for other things have been in place for years and years, and they took years and years to get there.
I mean, it's
Like-
entirely possible. Like, I know nothing about how this stuff works in professional sports in terms of like the administration of it, but it's possible that if they're partnering with an agency that already handles a lot of this stuff, that you just like you accept whatever cost is associated with it, and then they just like come to the event and they take care of it and they sign off on it.
yeah.
It may be plug and play. I have no idea.
Well, I think we should really look at maybe the most effective big organization that deals with anti-drug. I think we should, whatever the cycling guys are doing, we need to figure out, because that's an effective program. I mean, Lance Armstrong.
It was like it's not even Lance Armstrong. It was something like at one
everybody.
point, I think last year, it was like the last 4 Tour de France winners
We're
tested
all-
positive or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Got
Like
bopped.
anybody that wants to compete. at
Basically,
that
if you
level
want to
is
win the Tour
blood
de
doping.
France, you got to be on some shit. Is what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah. Which
We
I don't.
should make-
We shouldn't have shocked anybody anyway, because you're like, the human body shouldn't be able to do that. Like, they need to be doing something. You know what
I think the way you get around the drug testing is you make all professional players become dare officers as well.
Maybe they'll take it more seriously.
Yeah.
We
Responsibility.
do know too. We know weed is on this list of stuff they're going to test for, which I find
Well,
hilarious.
That's really funny.
I mean, if you want to kill yourself, if you want to overdose on dangerous drugs, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that's another thing of what applies to esports as a prohibited or a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's an interesting question, but like the safest answer is just everything that's banned in like other sports.
I think that's
and
all.
that's
I mean,
the
yeah.
safest answer, but I don't think that
Right.
applies whatsoever in a lot of
The
cases.
thing is that
but-
like these are if we want to look at these people as professional athletes, like why don't you just conform to the same standards that regular athletes conform to, and then eventually esports is on the same stage and in this specific way as real sports, even though they're different, right? But I'm sure Adderall is banned in pro sports probably.
I don't know. Actually,
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Even though like there's probably
Maybe.
not a
I could
whole
see it.
lot
I
of-
could see it giving an advantage to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, like, steroids probably aren't going to give you an advantage in Counter-Strike or League of Legends or something, but, like, fine. Ban it anyway.
See, that's to me as well, which was another thing I brought up when I was talking to that ESL dude. I was like, well, I can definitely see this for we are also looking at the safety of our players. Because, I mean, if you look at, like, for instance, the 80s, in baseball in the 80s, like, tons of dudes died because there was no testing. So they just did whatever the fuck they wanted. Whether it was tons and tons of steroids, like shit they didn't even know what they were putting in them. Cocaine was the big thing. But they didn't test for any of it. There was no policy. You just do whatever you wanted. And that's basically what it is in esports right now. I'm not, before someone jumps to conclusions, I'm not saying everyone who plays CSGO is on fucking cocaine. But, like,
I
they
think
can
it's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
They can. What I'm saying is they can do whatever they want right now because they're just regular people under that sort of law. Like, if it's not illegal, they can do it, and it's totally fine.
I think it's not unreasonable that you just have them, you test them for THC and for cocaine and for Adderall and like whatever normal athletes get tested for, because if we consider these people athletes, then just don't do drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I see that.
It's just, to me, it seems like it's not that big of a deal either way. Like, just don't do them. You are, if you consider yourself a professional athlete, then expect to eventually be upheld to the same standards as sports athletes.
Yep. As the money gets bigger, this stuff will keep cropping up. So it would have eventually happened even if Semphis had said something.
Yeah.
It seems like a
Agreed.
good thing.
Yeah, I think for player safety at this point, that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I actually, just to cap that off, I actually think that the player safety thing is a pretty legitimate argument for why this should happen anyway, like regardless of scandal or whatever, because a lot of esports players are younger, like, even younger than 18 sometimes. So these guidelines seem especially pertinent to just help keep young kids safe from bad stuff.
Yeah, I see that. All right. That was the biggest story. Of course, we had 2 weeks of news to go through. The Xbox One is moving closer to just kind of being a PC. It is now going to get full keyboard and mouse support, and I think now the streaming to a PC is now live as well, and they're also looking at doing it the other way, streaming PC games to an Xbox One. This is all going to come with Windows 10, which comes out in 3 days. I mean, are we building towards having full cross compatibility between the Xbox One and the PC because they're both Windows 10 machines? Like, I don't know if Microsoft will go that far, but I kind of hope it signals that we get like a Halo 5 PC at some point. Something like that happens.
I think
That would be
I think
nice.
it would actually be like this is maybe a little far fetched, but could be a long term goal. Is if you bring the Xbox One in parity with PC and vice versa, then in your Windows 10 App Store you can create a Steam competitor really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've already
And you
had
have to think they're looking at that.
Yeah, and in E3 coverage, they already said there were several games announced that were going to be Xbox One and Windows 10. And they specifically phrased it that way. They didn't go, and on PC. They said, and Windows 10, like the Pirate MMO, which the name is slipping my mind right now. But,
I mean, you know that Windows wants a future where they are like Apple, where even stuff on OS 10 goes through the App Store, by and large, at this point.
yeah.
Like, Windows wants a slice of that revenue where like all of these third-party programs that exist on Windows and games are in that. Like Microsoft does not get a slice of any of that, and Apple does, which is why
Yeah.
Apple is worth so much money.
Yeah. So we'll see where this goes. If you have an Xbox One and you've done the streaming, let us know how it is. Be interesting to hear.
I'm down for this on every game that's not 30 FPS.
So
As far
yeah,
as-
I see that.
Like that's not I'm not gonna put myself through that. I'll just use
The
thumbsticks.
FPS lock it. Yeah.
Yeah, if like 60 FPS like on an Xbox, if I could plug my mouse and keyboard in, that'd be great.
Cool. Well,
Do
you
it.
will be able to soon.
Yeah, I will.
But as someone who has just plugged their Xbox One controller into their PC for the first time, and it just works after installing drivers, like why would you not just have a PC?
You're an advertisement. It
True.
just
And-
works.
It does just work.
It does. No, it worked great. I expected to have like some slight
Dude.
issues or something. No, it's just great.
I
Just plug it
bought
in.
this. I bought this controller because I was fed up of the little issues with the DualShock 4 like third-party tools because you have to use a
Oh,
third-party
you're
tool.
using DualShock 4 on your PC?
Yeah.
That's sort of a hassle.
Yeah, it is.
For a
And the
controller
majority of the
that
time,
I'm not a huge fan of. All right,
well,
no, the
I
DualShock
liked
4.
it better than
Yeah.
my shitty off-brand 360 controllers. Like I liked it better than that.
Yeah.
So I put up with it because what would happen is like little things here. It would work the majority of the time with DS4 mapper or input mapper, and then sometimes like weird shit. Like The Witcher got patched and my D-pad no longer worked correctly in Witcher 3. So I was just like, I'm fed up with this. I'll just get an Xbox One controller. I plugged it in and it worked. So it's like I didn't have to do anything else. So
Oh, this keyboard and mouse on Xbox. This is a good time to bring back Shadowrun.
God, oh my God, Shadowrun.
We need
wait.
to.
I wonder if that'll be on the 360 backwards compatibility thing.
It would be nice to see, but I would also not be surprised if it wasn't.
So, moving on to the big thing. None of us went to QuakeCon this year. It's the first year in a while.
Sad.
Doom multiplayer was playable and demoed in more fullness at QuakeCon this year, I guess you could say. It's pretty fast, according to Polygon and PC Gamer and Dave Oshry on Twitter. Number one source for QuakeCon news, Dave Oshry. There is no strafe jumping or Quake-type movement really in it, and I saw a few accounts lamenting this because people were kind of hoping... I don't think anyone was thinking it was going to be the second coming of Quake or anything, but I thought people, had a little bit more expectation that way. There is a double jump in it, and it isn't the Unreal/Quake style of having to go pick up weapons, although there are some weapons that are pickups in the stages. You actually make Call of Duty style loadouts in Doom 3, and you have to unlock stuff just like you would in a Call of Duty. The matches are really, really fast, though. Deathmatch, one of the examples was like a 6-minute match. So that's like Call of Duty, maybe even a little shorter than Call of Duty. And there's a mode where there's a rune that will spawn in the middle, and whoever gets the rune turns into a cyber demon. And that person is like an absolute beast when they're a cyber demon. You have to basically bring it down as a team. I don't know. It's sounding pretty fun. I like the double jump. I would have actually hoped for some more Quake style stuff in it, but since it's been so long since they've done an arena FPS. But
I mean, I think that's what a lot of us hope for, but that's also, I mean, they have to actually sell this game, and
true.
There are going to be a lot of people that are going to pick up a Doom today, and if they got a Quake style loadout with 9 weapons, and
you're so right on that.
Well, and it's just
like,
I don't know. I think there's a way.
I don't think this game's
going to
sell well, by the way, at all. I think this is going to be a total bomb.
I think you're wrong about that.
Really? I think there's enough nostalgia, basically,
because of the name
like
and the hype. Like,
yeah,
Bethesda is building a great hype machine with this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll sell really fine. I think it'll sell fine just because, like, hopefully the single player will be worth it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this can be fine. I don't know. Having not played it, it's hard for me to say because it's Doom is one of those games that is really about the feel, and the feel could still be right even without stuff like strafe jumping and having every weapon at your disposal.
It is super fast, so that's a good thing. It is super fast.
Yeah, I mean, like as much as I would love every single game ever made in the first-person shooter space to have strafe jumping, I have accepted long ago that, like, the Quake style strafe jumping is a relic of the past, and we'll just have to settle for different movement mechanics in future games.
But the loadout thing and unlockables is basically the only Call of Duty-esque thing you're going to see in this. There's no sort of one-shot kill weapons. It doesn't appear unless you're that Cyber Demon mode. In this article from Polygon, every consideration for Doom's multiplayer mode seemed geared to keep the player moving as fast as possible, as much as possible. There is no regenerating health, the Call of Duty style thing. You have to go get health and armor, like a Quake style game.
Yeah, I think that's
good.
At least
that's good.
Yeah, if they're keeping some aspects of Quake, like if I think about Quake, if I think, okay, let's turn Quake into a loadout style thing where you get to pick 2 weapons, that could still be interesting, right? Do you pick a rail and LG? Or do you pick a rocket launcher and rail? Or, like, I could see different interesting loadouts that are not, like, looking to mimic Call of Duty, which is, like, just different hit scan weapons.
Right.
Doom has more variety than that.
Yes.
So I hope they lean into that.
And this writer also says, not once during any match was I one-shot killed by an enemy that I couldn't see. When an enemy and I turned a corner and saw each other, the encounter wasn't given to the first player to pull the trigger, which it would be in Call of Duty. I went to the most mobile, craftiest player. So soldiers on Doom's battlefield move faster than soldiers on other shooters' battlefields. So, yeah.
I think that's one thing that the Dirty Bomb has gotten right so far is that the time to kill is not very low. Yeah, like it takes a while to kill someone, and I would love to see that in Doom as well. Like they're actual firefights instead of just I'm camping a corner and you came around the corner and because I saw you first and slightly pre-fired you died.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully it's not that.
No, it's definitely not from the sound
Yeah.
of this. So it is. It sounds to me a little bit more like. It sounds like sort of Quake, Call of Duty crossover kind of deal, or even like a Dirty Bomb type of game, but more, sci-fi, obviously. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty good. This was a pre-alpha, so who knows? Did they say a release window for this? 2016?
I believe spring 2016.
Okay. All right.
So.
Well, speaking of things that won't be out till spring 2016, this
Please don't laugh, Brandon. This is very serious.
I
can tell based on the picture in this article that Batman takes this seriously.
Yeah. Arkham Knight. According to wow, this is so ridiculous. As previously advised, we have stopped sales of Batman Arkham Knight PC while Warner and Rocksteady work on addressing performance issues with the game. The latest information from Warner is that the updates won't be available until spring. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So just buy this game on console if you really want to,
If
and
you
if you
really
don't really
wanna
want
play
it that
it, just
bad,
get
then
it.
just don't fucking buy it.
Just get it. Just
Yeah.
get it on PS4.
Buy it on
Xbox
console
One.
or just don't bother.
I got this with my video card. I have it installed. I will not touch it until they are finished doing whatever they're doing. There's an interim patch due out in August, but it will not. They even said in the statement for that it won't fix nearly all the issues. So good game.
That maybe makes it playable?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You
ridiculous.
just know that when they actually went back and did more diligence
Holy shit!
on
Probably.
all of the bugs, and someone was like, all right, give me that full bug list that I ignored a week ago, and it was like, oh man, this is bad.
This is gonna take a little while.
So they delayed. Let's go over this. They delayed the game 9 months initially for everything. It was going to come out last fall, so it got delayed, and then it got delayed again by like 2 more months. Got delayed till June, and then it came out, and now it's delayed for another 9 months or so.
Oh wait! This is Australian spring, so fall for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
that's slightly better.
No, it's not.
It's still not okay.
No, it's not okay.
Well, at least let's convey accurate information.
All right.
I love that we live in a time where video games don't have to be finished when they actually come out.
Yeah, you just
I think that's
release it.
fucking awesome.
You just
And by
release
fucking
it.
awesome, I mean that's so fucking stupid.
Australian spring. So, eventually, regardless, the game will have been delayed a year, pretty much. Not
Yeah.
delayed, but it came out, but a year from when it was gonna come out originally. Okay. So, all right. That sounds reasonable. No, it doesn't. But to put that in perspective, too, they also said in there they just recalled all the PC stock. So they were just like, fuck
Yeah.
it, take it all back. Like we're not going to put these on shelves anytime soon. But speaking of games that are successful and are indeed out and playable now, the international Dota 2, the international 2015 prize distribution was announced this past week. It's a small chunk of change.
For first
It's a
place.
small chunk
Good
of
lord.
change. It has
Wow.
topped $17 million. $17,087,016 to be exact. First place gets a cool 6.15 million. Sixth place gets 1.1 million.
God, it's insane.
Sixth place. 5 other teams were better than you, so here's $1 million.
It's a million. Yeah, that's insane when you put that in perspective.
So ridiculous. The final 4 spots get over 50K each. To put that in perspective, like, there's been CSGO tournaments lately,
Yeah,
big
that don't-
tournaments where first prize was 50K.
Yeah,
Like,
routinely don't hit. Back
Yeah.
in the day, it didn't hit 50K, or it was like 20 or 30K.
it is unbelievable. 9th through 12th get 200,000. 9th through 12th. You basically sucked in this tournament. Here's $200,000. It's so crazy.
I feel so bad that I haven't, like, I'm so detached from Dota. Like, I haven't watched any this year,
Did you
so
get
I have
like
no
that
idea.
new client of it at all?
No,
It's like
I haven't touched
Reborn or
Dota.
whatever?
I haven't touched Dota in over a year. Like this is the first international going into it where I have no idea what's been going on. It makes me sad.
Oh, this is bigger than League. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think LCS winner gets like 1 million or a couple million. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing we talked about a couple weeks ago with Smite and them like
Yeah.
capping their prize pools. I think like this is when you look at this prize pool distribution, you're just like, wow, I would much rather have 4 tournaments and then just like take away a lot of this prize money and distribute it a little more evenly.
Spread it
Yeah.
out.
Because like this is this is very much going to be a rich get richer type scenario. You know, a lot of the top teams are not necessarily going to need $6 million.
So
Those are going to be
apparently
the teams that are already successful.
LCS winner gets like 50K? What?
Really? Yeah, I don't know what the.
That cannot be
That
correct.
is
Yeah,
a
it's
bold-faced
LCS.
lie. I don't know why you would even say that.
All right.
But it's not 6 million. It's like I think a couple million or something.
Definitely not 6 million. All right, a couple little small tidbits of news. We streamed this on Wednesday, but Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords, got a game update over a decade after being released.
Super weird.
Somewhat out of nowhere, and gave it support on Mac and Linux. It came out, so you can get it on those as well as Windows now. It's got Steam Cloud saves, it's native widescreen resolution support, and the resolution supports go up to 4K and 5K monitors. Native controller support now for all major controllers that are out. And a bunch of achievements and some other small options as well. Like, the reason I bring this up is because 10 years after, like, a fan-made mod didn't have to do this, they just went and did it. Like, it's kind of awesome. That's
This is why PC gaming is the best.
Yeah, that's
Hands
why
down.
PC is good.
Basically, KOTOR 3 is confirmed.
Yeah, KOTOR 3 confirmed.
That'd be great, right?
That would be cool.
You know, there's just like one dude who loves this game and he works for this company,
Aspire,
Aspire.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, we got to do this. I'm telling you.
It's pretty cool though, like, because you couldn't do that on console. You just couldn't. Like, they wouldn't let it roll out. Like, you'd have to go through all those certifications and.
Well, and they would want to charge $60 for it.
Oh yeah, they also gave it Steam Workshop support as well. So now you can get your mods for KOTOR 2 direct. So, boom. Well done. Well done. Oh shit. Well, that's cool. Dota 2 is adopting the CSGO major system this year. Neat. It's good to know as well. Back to the international. Alright, final piece of news, and it is good news. It's still the dumbest thing ever, but it's good news. Rise of the Tomb Raider is indeed coming to PC in early 2016, and PlayStation 4 in holiday 2016. Just still, I don't, like, good, great. We're only getting it like 3 months late, but again, let's make a very successful game, then make its sequel, but we will only release the sequel on one platform for several months.
There had to be like some.
How
like,
much money did Microsoft?
Either
give
that
them?
or someone had like
cases.
Yeah.
like, photos on one of the other exec's wife, like fucking like in a bukkake or something. Like, this just doesn't seem like it makes any business sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
So
It's
there had to
fucking
be some
stupid.
blackmail going on or something.
But we now have the confirmed dates for this, so it comes out in November on Xbox One and Xbox 360 for some reason.
I'll definitely be getting it on the 360.
Yeah, get on. 360. I'm sure it'll look amazing and run really well. The thing that even gets me even more is that the PS4 gets it a year later. They made a huge deal about that Tomb Raider like high def edition for PS4. And so if you played that, you're now going to have waited like an extra whole year for the sequel. It's just, God, just dumb. Do it the other way. Do it like Titanfall did it. I think that's better. Because Titanfall, they were like exclusive for the first one, But all other Titanfalls will come out on all platforms. So like, there's Titanfall 2 and Titanfall 3. They'll be on everything. So there you go.
But how would you do that for a sequel that has already come out on everything? Like the first one was on everything.
No, Titanfall's only on Xbox and PC.
No, I'm talking about about Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Though. How would you apply that to the sequel?
Well, I mean, saying they did it the opposite way.
Oh.
I think it's almost more of a slap in the face to deliver a game to a certain platform a year later than it is to just not do it at all.
It is more of a
If
slap in
you're
the
going
face
to do
yeah.
exclusive, just be like, well, sorry, it's exclusive. You know, get an Xbox if you want to play it. But then to say, no, if you want to play it on PS4, just wait until next Christmas.
Sham raises a big point. I mean, think about how fucking the turnover and like how people's interests die in games how quickly now. A year? That's like I can't even. Like,
I'm really looking forward to all the
years.
PlayStation content that was locked on my Destiny character for the.
Oh,
past
that's
year.
right.
It's coming up in
Yeah.
September, guys. It's
God.
we're getting there. I'll get my
I don't even
get
play
my Monte
Destiny. I'm
Cristo,
mad
get some
for
new
you.
strikes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually super excited because I wasn't into Destiny right when it came out. So it's not like I've been waiting this long.
like
I mean,
a year
And
in
it comes out when all the other stuff comes out. So I'm getting like extra DLC.
a year in the real
a
world
lot of money.
is like dog years or gamer years. That's 7 years in the gamer world.
Look,
a year in the real world. You
GTA
kidding me?
5,
No one
GTA
cares.
5, chat is bringing up GTA 5. That's not a comparable.
No, no,
Okay.
that's not comparable. At all.
Not a comparable. GTA 5
If
was
Rise of the
also
Tomb Raider
built from the
decides to
ground
put
up.
all of the additional functionality and like love that GTA did,
Yeah.
then great, release it a year
Sure.
later.
Yeah, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
Doubtful.
There's first person mode in Tomb Raider.
Checkmate, atheists.
Oh my god. All right. That is it for the news. We're going to right into viewer questions, and a controversial topic makes a return. Brandon, we have new evidence regarding the hot dog as a sandwich debate.
This is weird because last night I was thinking about this argument. It was in my brain. I was like, "It's fucking not a sandwich, okay?" Like alone in my apartment, getting angry about it. I'm like, "It's not a fucking sandwich."
Well,
I still think
so,
it's not a sandwich, but tell me the evidence.
So you would think that, because again, if you listen to our last episode, we talked about the question was from Two Hit 'em Quit 'em, and the question was, is a hot dog a sandwich? And the reason this shook me to my core was because I would have said no, but as I thought about it, I couldn't make a valid argument for why I thought it was no. And you guys are saying that a hot dog is not a sandwich. However, we got an email this week that again shook me to my very foundation.
God damn it.
And informed me that a Subway sandwich is not two pieces of bread. It is a single piece of bread.
He's fucking right.
So
Okay,
how
then-
can you sit
so-
here and tell me
So all I know
That
is
a hot
Subway
dog
is now
is
the
not a
biggest
sandwich.
hot dog chain in the world.
that's right. Exposed as a
still
fucking
use
hot dog
weird-
chain.
Lettuce-filled hot dogs.
I
Holy
mean-
shit, Fat Attack.
I mean,
All right,
was
we'll
that,
get on that later.
was that our strongest argument though? Was that the bread wasn't separated? I don't.
I came to the conclusion that a hot dog was a sad sandwich. It was a depressed sandwich. That was my
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
I'm going to diffuse the Subway argument because Subway is neither a hot dog nor is it a fucking sandwich.
That's
It's
true.
a fucking travesty.
That's very true.
It is bottom of the barrel.
Against humanity.
Yeah.
And if you bring Subway into a sandwich argument, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true. You've already missed the point if you're bringing in Subway because
no?
that's
But there
not
are
a
probably. I'm sure there are many other sandwich chains that use a single piece of bread. I think
Let
like
me-
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's does too. Oh god.
I mean, most hoagies, a lot of hoagies in general, yeah, will have it sliced like that.
Look, dude,
Where it's
Jimmy
not
John's is
separated.
good though, unlike Subway.
Break down
Yeah,
every
Jimmy John's good.
argument. You could break down every argument I have for hot dogs not being a sandwich, but at the end of the day, a hot dog just doesn't have the same spirit as a fucking sandwich. It's not
That's
the
true. It's a
It
feel
doesn't have
thing.
the
That's
soul.
It's a feel thing, and it's a
So,
soul thing.
Let me.
That's so true.
So is
Let
it
me-
one of those? Is it one of those things? Kind of like the definition for pornography, like you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
I feel like with a
see
sandwich, you can make that argument.
Because
It just a hot dog. I mean,
Look.
think about it just doesn't feel like a sandwich. It's
here's
just
here's another thing. For instance, if you have an Italian sausage sandwich, It is a hot dog, but it's Italian sausage instead of a hot dog. But it's called a sandwich. Like, so...
I haven't personally had one of these, so...
Yeah.
Like, also,
I don't know
Italian
whether to
sausage is
think
delicious.
now that hot dogs are sandwiches or that sandwiches are hot dogs.
What about
damn
meatball
it.
subs?
Meatball sub is a meatball sub. I mean, there's no tube meat involved.
That's sort of
No,
that's
meatball
sort of,
sub
that's
is
a gray
basically
area,
like pieces
right?
of hot dog.
That's like a gray area as well. Yeah.
God damn it. Wait a minute.
No,
Are we
this is
being
just-
linked to government site on the definition of sandwiches?
Oh God. What is
Okay, here we
this?
go. All right, I'm gonna read this. This is from this is in New York State, so this may not apply to where you live.
Oh, okay.
Brandon's in California. Scott and I are in Pennsylvania. Nick's in California, so it may be different in
Wow,
California
state
and
by
Pennsylvania.
state definition.
This is also
Wow,
based
this
on
is-
what they can tax, so you know that the government. Did
Wait,
the
are these
research.
medical sandwiches or recreational sandwiches?
Recreational sandwiches.
This goes too deep.
All right. Here we go. Introduction. I'm gonna read this
Oh
whole
my
thing.
god.
Sandwiches are generally subject to sales tax. This bulletin explains what is considered a sandwich for the purposes of sales tax. Okay, so you know they're serious because the government's making money
Yeah,
off this shit.
yeah.
Okay, that's the preface here. What is considered a sandwich?
Yep.
Sandwiches include hot and cold sandwiches of every kind that are prepared and ready to be eaten, whether made on bread, on bagels, on rolls, in pitas, in wraps, or otherwise, and regardless of the filling or number of layers.
They made it real broad because they want to make money. Fuck the government. I'm
A
out.
sandwich.
I don't trust this
Yeah,
shit.
they-
Sandwich
like,
can be
yeah.
a.
It
It smells
Listen
a
to
fucking
this.
big business, alright? I don't fucking deal with this bullshit.
This is really gonna.
This is not an
God.
objective source. They're looking to maximize
I
tax
know.
revenue.
They literally just included. They should have put like they were like your
They
child
said-
could
this
be
is like
classified as a sandwich.
car
So we can-
tires.
The next sentence is so good. A sandwich can be as simple as a buttered bagel. What?
No, you're fucking, this is the dumbest fucking
Or
thing.
roll, or as elaborate as a
Buttered
6-foot toasted submarine sandwich. Get the fuck out of here.
This is actually making me mad that the fucking
what do you-
government
No,
is
no,
telling
no.
this.
If you have a buttered bagel and someone asks you what that is and you don't like, what else would you call it besides? Like, what did you say? A fucking butter sandwich?
No, you say
Eating
a
a
buttered
fucking-
bagel.
Yeah, that's not a fucking sandwich. I don't know who
God.
fucking thinks
How
butter on a
greedy
bagel.
are you, New York State, that you're trying to call a bagel a sandwich?
This
Yeah,
this
this
needs
doesn't
to be
fucking
fucking
surprise me.
reported on, dude. This is
And then they give a whole bunch of
Terrible.
examples of taxable sandwiches, including
And
the
it
BLT, by the way,
includes every it is
which
on
is a sandwich and not just a collection of condiments. Blah's in here, so I'm just gonna go right in on that.
there. I mean, it
New
lists.
York should have just said, "Is it fucking edible? It's a fucking sandwich."
I know,
Okay.
dude. That definition, man. Oh my god.
Oh my
The
God.
government is full of shit. Don't trust the government. Stream. That's what we've
and
learned tonight.
Of course, they list on this. They list hot dogs and sausages.
I
and
was going to
buns,
say,
but
according to New York State,
but-
a hot dog is by definition a sandwich.
to me though, this works
According
the other
to
way.
law.
This is
Well,
the
also by
perfect-
New York State, my fucking existence is a sandwich in New York
this-
State.
And you know what? The fact that this actually works in the favor of the anti of saying that the hot dog is not a sandwich. That on this list, this totally horrible, like no facts on this.
Yeah, this
it's
is-
proof. Like this is a fraudulent document, and clearly they would list a hot dog as a sandwich. How can you trust it? You can't trust it. You can't trust
You
it.
can get an exemption certificate to say that your sandwiches are not taxable. By the way.
Oh my god, this is like when
So if you
anyone
know the
tells
right
me-
person in the government, you can get a hot dog to not be a sandwich.
Like, when anyone tells me that, like, we need more government to fucking fix our problems, I'm gonna send them this fucking article, and, like, Jesus Christ, this makes me so upset.
I'm gonna
right,
start
all right,
broadcasting
all
on
I
short.
wasn't even gonna vote. I wasn't even gonna vote in the next
apart.
election, but now I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna find out what the stance is. Like, the only thing I care about is what does Ron Paul think about the hot
Did you
dog.
see that they're calling a burrito a sandwich?
Yes.
It's fucking insane.
New York State trying to take your money. So here's the Merriam-Webster definition of a sandwich.
God.
2 pieces of bread with something, such as meat, peanut butter, etc., between them. 2 or more cookies, crackers, or slices of cake with something between them.
What?
That is the dictionary definition.
Okay. This
Okay,
conspiracy
that's
runs
still
way
good.
deeper.
Also, there's even more here, all right? 2 or more slices
even
of bread
think-
or a split roll having a filling in between. One,
I didn't even- I didn't
one
even
slice
think
of
about
bread
dessert
covered
sandwiches.
with food? That's
What?
a sandwich?
That's an open face sandwich, but that's not in the
No,
same.
it's not. If I put peanut butter on some bread, It's peanut butter bread.
That's a good
It's not
point.
a
That's a good
sandwich.
Dude, this goes so deep, dude. We're so fucked.
God, yo, give them Illuminati's from. Is that APL's?
Twitch has one too.
Can we please talk about dessert sandwiches? Are cookie sandwich like ice cream cookie sandwiches? Are those sandwiches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why the Merriam-Webster definition
I
is so
think well,
broad.
dessert sandwiches are a different thing. I feel like I could be way more lenient with a dessert sandwich.
Well, that's why they're just saying it's filling in between, because that's like a dessert sandwich is basically it fits that.
Yeah,
two
usually
or-
like ice cream, cake, whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. We've never gone this deep.
Yeah, this is. I mean, honestly, this is the
What
most.
what is Bernie
It
Sanders?
should be said
stance
that
on
New
this?
York does not consider an ice cream sandwich a sandwich.
Yeah, so that's how you know they're not fucking credible.
It's true,
Piece
because
of
an ice
shit.
cream sandwich is 100% a sandwich.
Yeah.
The dictionary
It's
definition.
that's the #1 dessert sandwich, I would say.
Yeah.
So now we know that New York State is a crock of shit,
Unbelievable.
and
It's the fucking media. It's the fucking government. It's this country going to shit. It's been going to shit for the past 60 years. Listen to me, kids.
you Occupy Wall Street people should be occupying sandwich shops. That's what you should be doing. All right, next question. Good God. Next question.
I'm all in now on all the conspiracy theory stuff. If they talk like the next, who's that guy, Alex or whatever? Who's like the big one?
Trebek.
It's like, no, no.
Alex Jones? Alex Jones?
Alex Jones. Like if Alex Jones has rallied against like this sandwich thing, I'm all in on whatever. I'm moving to fucking the middle of nowhere, and I'm gonna wear tinfoil because I'm in on it now. I totally understand. This is.
It'll be convenient if you wear tinfoil, because then you can get free burritos on burrito day.
This is fucked. I'm so depressed. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's
This has ruined.
Okay,
this has
man.
ruined my night. I'm still
all
digesting
right.
this.
This
like-
next
I told you we
question.
hadn't gotten to the bottom of this last time.
No,
I don't think
no.
we have yet. I mean,
If you have
Jeez.
more evidence for us to consider, you know where to send it.
yeah. Etchy Sketch
Your
writes
local
in.
congressman.
Yeah, your local congressman. Let him know. Etchy Sketch writes in. So I was at a friend's house recently, and I was inspecting his shower. Okay, well,
What?
I mean,
Oh, this is all right.
Already, it's strange.
and all of the towels were so fluffy and smelled so nice. I'm glad. That's good. Your friend is very cleanly. Anyways, if you went to a hotel or something, would you rather have a shower with lukewarm water and high water pressure, or a shower with warm or hot water and low water pressure? Thanks, guys. Please be gentle. Etcha.
Lukewarm water, high water pressure.
Oh,
No.
that's not
Every-
even a question
every
to me.
time.
I don't think so.
Really?
Dude.
I think here's the thing. Lukewarm is very subjective. Like if we're just talking, it doesn't.
Yeah.
If we're talking like slightly more than cold, like I wouldn't consider it a cold shower. That's not good enough. But lukewarm could be like not as hot as I'd like it, but like still tolerable.
If he said cold water and high water pressure, I will take that over hot water and low water pressure, even in the winter. I
What?
cannot do low water pressure, dude.
Yeah, I
can't do
have
it.
to have high water. I
It's
gotta be
literally the worst.
assaulted by my damn shower in the morning.
It may be terrible, like I might be freezing, but at least like I will eventually adjust, and I just can't do the low water pressure. Yeah.
I need to be pounded by my shower.
Same.
I'm sorry, what?
Like if I let that sucker
You realize
directly
someone,
on my
like,
on my
someone is just
PP,
gonna
I want to
cut
feel
you
like I'm
saying-
getting punched in the balls. You know what I mean? By
I
the
want to be
pressure.
pounded.
Yeah.
Someone's just gonna splice you
You
saying,
want to
I
have to stand
Yes.
further away because any closer would like damage your skin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whatever doesn't
I
kill you.
think I would need examples of it to actually say, because I do care about water pressure, but like not having hot water is a non-starter.
This morning, my water was so hot that when I got in, I didn't realize that it was so hot, and then I did like the bitchiest like twirl move to the other corner where there was no water hitting it.
Oh, I know what you do. Yeah. I know
Like
that
you just
feel.
reel over, like you just got acid sprayed at you, and like just like you look like the biggest bitch, and then you like have to reach for the knob.
God,
It's
you
just
guys
bad-
are all so
bad
soft
thing.
that you could never take a cold shower. Good lord, the people.
I mean, if it's really hot, like I'll take a cold shower. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
Depending on the
definitely depends. I
circumstances,
mean,
but I couldn't just like, especially in a hotel. In a hotel, I'm not going to take a cold shower.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
again,
I'm taking like 5-hour hot as fuck showers in the hotel.
yeah, I'm
'Cause
trying to get my money's worth for
I don't
sure.
know about the environment.
But the other thing you have to consider is we're not like you're living in a place that has like even if it's in the dead of winter, like you're living, you already have heating, and you already so like to take a cold shower. Trust me, I've done it. Like I've had our hot water go out at my parents' house, and I've taken cold showers in the winter.
Scott lives on the edge. He's like,
That's how I live on the
winter.
That's true.
And
No,
I
but really,
You
like,
say trust me, like I don't trust that you've happened to have taken a cold shower once in your life.
no, but I'm saying your body adjusts. It's really not that bad. But again, I'm a pressure fiend. Like I again like to get punched in the balls by the water by my water pressure.
Yeah.
Like
Refer yourself as a pressure fiend.
so I would describe myself.
I'm a pressure fiend.
I identify as a pressure fiend. That's what I am.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Pressure. Give me that pressure. I'll do anything for a little bit of
Anything, man.
anything. And I mean, I'm not saying I'll do any sexual stuff, but I'm not saying I won't do any sexual.
What kind of pressure you got? How much PSI this bitch pushing out?
I'm for scratches, man. I'm a fiend, you could say, for the pressure.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
There's such a good Seinfeld reference here, but if you haven't seen Seinfeld, you wouldn't get it.
That's 60 girls. See ya.
Alright.
I don't watch fucking sick.
I just don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand that this is also the extreme of the question because he's saying, yeah, I mean, it's the total extreme. But I just don't understand how you guys, like, are there people that prefer less water pressure? Like, you don't like it being.
I don't think so. I've
I
never
don't
come
think
across
that
like that one.
exists. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You at least want a moderate amount, you know?
Fucked up if you're like, yeah, I just want a nice little dribble. Just a
I
nice
want it to
dribble
drip
out of
on
that.
me.
Like, I literally cannot clean the shampoo out of my hair because there's so little
I
pressure.
want it to take 20 minutes to get the conditioner out of my hair. I just want to fucking, just one solid drip. Just a single drip.
Yeah, I remember. It was that Kramer episode. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the black market shower heads.
Yeah. Insane. All right. Next question. This pertains to the phenomenon of Rocket League. Def Not Drake via Twitter. How prevalent do you believe cross-console, I believe it means console and PC, multiplayer will be throughout various game genres? I think you can't do it with FPS. You just can't.
I think
Unless you
I think-
required
I think
controller
it seems
to
like
play.
the issue is more of if it's a competitive environment or not.
Yeah.
Like if it's casual as fuck FPS, like sure you could do it, but I mean,
I don't think they will
Generally,
because
it's not
that would be a
preferred.
really bad experience for the people on
Yeah.
controllers.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of genres outside of FPS certainly are open to that.
Yeah.
Sort of depends on the game.
Sports
It
games should
hasn't
all be.
happened more yet. Like Rocket League is one of the few examples I can think of that does crossplay.
Works
Yeah.
pretty well.
Like all sports games that come out on PC and consoles should all be
Yeah.
cross-platform. I see no
How's
reason.
the player like also,
Project Cars should be,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, like racing games
Player-based.
seem perfect for it.
yeah. Fighting games too, definitely. I mean, Street Fighter V is PC and PS4 only, and it's crossplay, so you get double your player base then too. So your game will last longer. Crazy. Yeah, more things should do it. FPS, not particularly. Although, as Nick said, if it's a casual FPS, if you're not going for an esport
Yeah,
type deal, then that might be okay.
I think the other thing too that I've seen in Rocket League specifically is the PC player base benefits a lot from the fact that it's free on PS Plus right now. So the
Yep.
concurrent player base on Steam is like 5 to 10K, but the overall player base of the game they've topped out at like over 100K.
Yeah.
Because there are so many players on PS4, so it's like it's a great way, especially for like a free to play game, to keep their player base up and keep people playing it because they know they'll have servers to play in.
Yep. So there you go. There's our take on cross console games. More games should do it. In other words.
I'm gonna answer the question
Okay.
before it even gets asked.
Sure.
Hot Buffalo Bugles.
Okay.
This is like it's like a movie that plays itself backwards.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Busted Grundle via Twitter. This is the question that Nick was asking. Favorite food that you know your body won't be happy about digesting? Nick has given us the wonderful image of full intact buffalo bugles coming out of his ass.
None of the other bugles will fuck me up, but hot buffalo bugles. And I scientifically, I put myself through it multiple times just to find out if it was a one-off or anything. No, consistently, turns me into lava. Molten on the surface. Old dudes taking pictures of me for National Geographic. Just Honolulu.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't know if we're just talking like that's more of like, I guess, a snack food. But if I eat the grilled stuffed nacho from Taco Bell,
What?
I've had it a few times.
You getting cleaned out?
Yeah, for that item in particular. Other things from Taco Bell, I can eat.
But you're
and
like
that don't
totally
have that
down with
problem.
it. You're totally
But
down
I'm
with
fine
eating
because
it.
the grilled stuffed
Yeah.
nacho, as you know,
It's that
Dan,
good.
is
Well,
second coming.
everything in the grilled stuffed nacho is in everything else in Taco Bell.
I know it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. Like nothing else fucks me up like that, and it's happened twice now, so it's pretty consistent.
Maybe
I don't
it's the chips.
Could be.
No.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it could be.
know.
I feel like that's the only thing that you don't really. It's those fucking little chip.
Chicken
Niblet.
wings. Chicken wings. Like
Do they?
spicy chicken wings. It looks like I'm shitting out a wood chipper. Like it's freaking. It's really not cool. I'm like, how does it even do that? But yeah, Taco Bell and I get along pretty well.
Yeah, it doesn't
actually.
do much to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to not. Maybe I'm just getting old too.
I would say like anything with nacho cheese, like sort of
Yeah.
the fake
Like,
cheese.
oh yeah, just
Yeah.
processed
Yeah.
yellow neon
Yeah.
cheese that you get with like a pretzel at a movie.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
I like it, but man, anytime you eat it, that's the one food where I can just feel my body sort of like.
I mean,
Really?
you're sort of just
You
coating your
thought this
stomach
was-
with some sort
You
of
thought this was food?
Nah, see ya.
almost like everything at a movie theater that requires heat.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah,
is
which
not
is right.
supposed to go in your body.
All right, next question from Wotech Knives via Twitter. If your annual salary was the same, would you rather be Guy Fieri's personal assistant or a stripper?
Assistant, easily.
Yeah.
Assistant,
assistant.
easily.
For sure.
In a
Yeah,
real
I
world
was gonna
situation.
say, yeah, I would need a premium to be a stripper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put up with fucking money 80 times a day. I'll put up with that.
And actually, like, there's a good chance that you get to go to some great restaurants as Guy Fieri's personal
Yeah.
assistant.
Right.
Also, we're all ugly as fuck, and we're not going to get any money.
Yeah, we'd be the
it's-
worst strippers.
It's not gonna be great.
You know what I look like? I wouldn't survive out on that dance floor. I ain't going to get no tips.
I would go out and then they would they would
No,
send me to the circus.
Back
Like-
room.
You got off on
Actually-
this is a strip club, not a freak show. You put your clothes back on, buddy.
Yeah.
I take
oh.
it back. I would just be Guy
think
Fieri's
so.
assistant stripper.
Assistant strip. Oh god. Whenever he wanted a little spicy time, he'd take me to Flavor Town. You gotta take your clothes off.
You're like giving your support actress for Guy Fieri while he's the headliner for the strip club.
I always like to imagine when I watch his show, like sometimes he'll get real friendly, and I've seen a lot of episodes of his show. He gets real friendly with like some of the more attractive, like, women or who own the restaurants. And I always like to imagine like off screen he's just fucking slamming them in the back, off camera, just shouting all of his lines. I don't know, just like fucking. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I
But-
think that might just be you.
Okay, sorry. I don't know. That's what does it for me. But I imagine he's a real kinky guy.
All right.
So I guess
Next
maybe
question.
I would definitely still be the assistant. I think maybe part
Yeah,
of me
it's
wants
not
to
even
be,
close.
part of
dude.
me wants to be derailed by him while he whispers, take me to Flavor Town in his ear. I don't know.
Surprisingly, not much for Guy Fieri with Rule 34.
Really? Oh man.
Brandon actively looking.
I can't believe you actually looked that up. You're a brave
That's for
person.
science.
As much as I can make fun of Guy Fieri, no matter what, I will always say, like, I feel like I would love hanging out with Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
I feel like he's
You
probably
probably
funny
would.
as fuck.
I feel like he couldn't be that over the top all the time in person, but maybe.
No, I feel like he's probably
pretty cool.
sort of
No,
charismatic
dude,
guy.
Dude, the guy Fieri and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is a fucking act.
Yeah, there's
It's gotta
no way.
be. But
Yeah,
there's
it
a
strikes
little
me as the
piece
same
of
kind
that.
of thing as Gordon Ramsay, right? Like he's
Yeah.
super over the top, but
Yeah.
like
In
when you
real
just
life,
see him
he's
in a
just a
normal
dude.
setting,
Yeah.
he just seems pretty nice.
Yeah. All right. Next question from Extreme Man 25 via Twitter. In honor of SGGQ 2015, which you should be multi-streaming right now, or if it's on Tuesday, turn it on. God damn it. What's your favorite speedrun and why? I watch a lot of speedruns, so.
after last year or after AGDQ, it's hard not to say Tetris.
Yeah. Insane.
Because if you haven't seen it, I actually don't even want to spoil it. If you haven't seen a Tetris speedrun, I think it's happening on... Oh, it's happening tomorrow, Monday, at like 4 or something Pacific.
Nice.
But you should definitely look at Tetris speedruns. It's pretty unbelievable.
So, I like the Punch-Out by sound, or just Punch-Out in general, but the Punch-Out by sound is pretty ridiculous. Mirror's Edge, 2 dudes, 1 controller was insane.
Mirror's Edge is always great.
It is always great too. Like the stuff that they found in that game is crazy.
Command and Conquer Yuri's Revenge.
Did they speedrun that? Because that'd be ridiculous.
Actually,
They
yes.
speedrun StarCraft last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they speedrun StarCraft.
No, I don't think they did Yuri's Revenge on SGDQ or SD.
I'm actually looking through the list right now this year of good stuff. God damn! Oh, thank God, the Sonic block is not in prime time this year. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, that Sonic stuff last year was rough.
Oh, it was excruciating. Because none of those games, like the 2D games are good, none of the 3D ones are any good at all. Whoa, there's an Unreal speedrun. Those are always insane. If you have not seen like the Doom and Quake speedruns, they are freaking crazy because they do them all on hardest difficulty. And if you've ever played a Doom or Quake game on hardest difficulty, it is not easy at all. Like they do Doom 2 on Hell on Earth difficulty or whatever. And it's like 45 minutes or something. Like it's crazy. Those are crazy to watch. I like seeing the newer games a lot. I'm a big fan of games like within the last 5 or 6 years because there's still glitches, but it's harder for them to find and it's usually more insane. Like the Dark Souls 2 speedrun where they just run like on top of the world for half of it. And it's like, how did you leave that in this day and age kind of thing? So those are more impressive to me because all the old Nintendo games seem to have some sort of like, or early 90s games have some sort of game-breaking thing in them because they put it out on a cart and you could never patch it. So,
we've talked about this before, but one of my favorite speedruns that was done, I think at AGDQ or maybe last year's SGDQ, was Trials Fusion.
Yeah.
Which was just like, I don't think there were any exploits. It was just basically like the mastery of the game, which was really new at that point, right? But like just pure mastery of the game was amazing to watch. It wasn't bugged out or anything. It was just like, here is basically the best person at this game.
Yeah.
That's only been out like a few months.
The best Trials player in the world. So there you go. There's some of our favorite speedruns.
You can find all the speedruns this week at gamesdonequick.com/schedule.
Yep. And we will be hosting, actually right after this podcast ends, we'll put the host up so you guys can chat about the runs and stuff.
Chat about the runs.
We just did chat about the runs.
We did just chat about the runs.
All right. Let's finish this thing out with our iTunes review of the
Please
week.
No. Please no.
Sorry, Nick.
Just do it. Just fucking do it.
I'll fucking do it.
Do it.
The memes are palpable.
God, here we go.
The name of the review this
Hold
week.
on. We have to tell people how they can do this.
Yeah.
Because this is featured. We didn't have a podcast for 2 straight weeks. Or for 1 week. So for 2 weeks you were without a podcast. In that time, we had 3 reviews. Okay? So if you submitted a great review within those 2 weeks, you would have had a 25% chance of getting picked before we even read it.
Yep.
That is how close you are to fame.
Fame.
So
Wow.
This next week, the last featured review we had was a limerick, if I recall correctly.
A poorly done limerick, but yes.
Yeah, the bar was set modestly, let's say. So you can get your 1 or 2 minutes of fame here pretty easily. Like, we're not asking for much.
Yeah.
All right,
Really,
so go to
the bar
iTunes.
is pretty fucking low right now, guys.
It is. It is.
Go to iTunes. You rate us 5 stars. The content doesn't matter. The content is
Whoa! Let's
what
not
we
let's not say
hold on.
that.
Hold on. the content is what we base the featured reviews on. I'm just saying to be eligible, the content does not matter. It just has to be 5 stars.
Yeah. All right. This week's review. The memes are palpable by Jack Him Off. Another clever name from you bastards out there. Hi guys, my name is John Herbert Imhoff. Wow. But my friends call me Jack. I was watching the cast last week and really enjoyed the reviews portion of the show. So you listened to the first hour and a half and didn't like that. All right, anyway.
Wow.
This is where we caught you.
Yeah. I was inspired by Mr. Elf meme and my grandmother, Madixon, which is also to write my own review in the form of a haiku. He spelled the THCE. So I mean,
No, you just put that in there.
I didn't put
someone.
that in there. I didn't put that in there. And it is a bad haiku, but here we go. Memes by Jack Him Off. Fuck boys not wanted. What is the structure for haiku? Is it 575?
575.
Yeah.
Fuck boys not wanted. Dank memes appear everywhere. Kill Fenton Kappa. He brought back Kill Fenton for a haiku.
Wow.
A meme that has been dead for 3.5 years.
I think that's sort of what makes it so good, though, is that in itself is a dead meme. So it's sort of like a tribute to memes.
A meme that has been dead for 3.5 years and has been unfunny for 4.
I'm checking his syllables right now.
Really?
Yeah.
You know I checked those syllables before I would even
All right,
consider
you're-
this.
you're right.
Brandon takes
cleared it
haikus
already.
very seriously.
He does. He does. All right, guys, that is it for the podcast this week. Episode 200 will be next week. Don't miss the Hardware podcast tomorrow night. Make sure you're following the channel here on Twitch. 14K followers will be doing a Drunk Souls couch stream. Scott will be playing Dark Souls on a particular day. You can follow us on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming and on Facebook, facebook.com/KBMOD. Those are the best ways to know what's going on. Make sure you check out the website over at kbmod.com. Check out all the articles and content there. And of course, the forums where you can sign up for the Rocket League tournament. Should be next Saturday, August 1st. So make sure you do that. Episode 200 next week. Who knows what could happen? Who knows?
Nudity.
Nudity. Penises.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Nipples, probably, as well.
Tons of them.
Live nudity.
Live nudes 24/7 here on the
Episode 200 when the channel gets banned.
That's how it ends. That's how all this ends.
It's the long game. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that was the intended.
It's the long con.
It's all
All
been
right.
building up to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, since episode 1, it was. It's called tension. It was building, guys.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week for episode 200. Later, dudes.
Farewell.